I have a second channel, Cube Compium TDX.
Hey everybody, here we're looking at a 2014 magicJack Plus. So this device here is rather interesting. It's of course it succeeds the original magicJack Plus, which I still have one in service and my parents have one in service. It's a little smaller than the 2014 magicJack Plus, and of course the original magicJack Plus, it was the first device that would allow you to use magicJack's phone service without the need of having to have your computer on all the time, let alone have a phone adapter plugged into your PC and running your PC. So running software on your PC, that kind of stuff. That was a big deal because a lot of magicJack's issues back in the early days had to do with software conflicts, poor system hardware, among other things, and a lot of things related to the computer itself. But eventually magicJack decided to replace the original magicJack Plus with this new 2014 magicJack Plus. And magicJack's owner back then had high ambitions for the device. So we have this giant device that has some built-in components that never really got used. So the idea behind the 2014 magicJack Plus was to allow it to work over Wi-Fi instead of having to be physically plugged into an Ethernet jack on your router or switch, which, I mean, depending on your situation, could be pretty cool. Not sure if I would exactly recommend running this over Wi-Fi because, of course, Wi-Fi is not as solid of a connection as a hardwire Ethernet connection. But I mean, again, it was pretty cool. Having that kind of technology was pretty cool. But the thing is, it's like magicJack never really seemed to really get that going. I think it was when Dan Borso he had passed away. They kind of abandoned the concept of having the Wi-Fi built into the magicJack Plus because the magicJack Go, which succeeded this device, it was a successor to it. Of course, I have one still brand new in the box here. You can see way smaller. The magicJack Go is really, it's more like the size of a magicJack Plus, the original magicJack Plus from 2011, 2012, that era. So, one thing I've been curious of is what is inside a 2014 magicJack Plus. So, this 2014 magicJack Plus used to be my parents' neighbor's device. This was the device that they got when they signed up for magicJack service back around 2014, 2015, that time period. And it seemed like the 2014 magicJack Plus kind of had its own set of issues. There were several cases where I had to assist them with this. It would either not work at all, I'd have to unplug it, plug it back in, stuff like that. It also got very hot. This thing always ran super hot. Now, it's pretty typical for magicJack devices to run on the warm side. At least the magicJack Plus, the 2014 magicJack Plus and magicJack Go's, they all seem to run warm. And over time, it does seem to kill an electrolytic capacitor in these, which will cause call quality issues, and also the power supplies. Now, this is not the original power supply. You can see Kodak on there. This actually came with a Kodak ZI-10 Play Touch, and it was one I happened to have laying in a drawer. Basically, their included AC adapter was starting to have problems, and of course, when these adapters starting to go, they start to cause problems for the actual magicJack device. Sometimes it won't ring. Sometimes the call quality just has a lot of hissing and static in it. And that can also be caused by a capacitor inside one of these. Now, I don't remember exactly what went wrong with this one. I think it just quit working altogether, or it was having issues to where it would not place or receive calls. There's some kind of issue, so they replaced it with a magicJack Go. So this device here has been fully decommissioned, and what I mean by that is the magicJack account and phone number were transferred over to the new device. So this device is pretty much dead by the way magicJack works. I did upload a video, I think in 2020. I think it's called "Let's Talk About magicJack for 47 minutes," and in that video I believe I discussed how magicJack handles pairing devices to accounts. Like once a device is paired to the account, it's paired for life, and you can't like deactivate the device and sell it to someone or give it to your friend, which I think would actually be pretty cool, because I have one or two magicJack devices around here that worked okay. They just got decommissioned or whatever, and I can't use them as a backup, which kind of sucks. But anyway, so again, this device, it was decommissioned. No longer have a need for it, so we're going to actually open it up here and see what's inside. I've always been curious what is inside the 2014 magicJack Plus. Now, generally on these things, this cover is actually glued on. At least that was the case with the old magicJack Plus. So I'm going to try to see if I can get my way in there. Just got to be really careful with this knife. I'm trying to not absolutely destroy this thing, because it is a nice little piece to have. Because I don't know anyone else who has a 2014 magicJack Plus. Okay, so there's a little cover. And I can already see some telltale signs of course, typical magicJack hardware. I see the Tiger 980 chip. Not sure if that's actually the processor or what. We have an ASICS AX88760. That could be our actual CPU. Not 100% certain. If I'm not mistaken, I think these things actually ran on ARM architecture. So we have, the interesting thing is we have the two USB ports there. And over here we have this this port for supposedly for a Wi-Fi. Not sure if it's for an actual Wi-Fi card or how that actually worked. I mean, this is such a, this, again, as I think I mentioned, and of course, magicJack kind of abandoned this concept because it wasn't carried into the modern day magicJack Go devices. So it would be nice if I could get this cover to come off here. Without damaging it or damaging myself. Okay, so it looks like I'm just going to have to brute force my way in here to get this board out. Because the plastic is so brittle on this thing, it's just, yeah. It was, of course, probably a cost-cutting measure to use cheaper in plastic. Alright, so there's a better look at the PCB. We should be able to pop it out now. There we are. So this is the 2014 magicJack Plus PCB. Definitely a lot more stuff going on there compared to the previous model. Again, there's that Tiger 980 chip. Not sure if that's our microprocessor or if that right there is our microprocessor. This one has 3 caps in it, at least larger electrolytic caps. And I believe this big guy right here, that is the one. Yeah, that's the one I replaced in the previous one. And the funny thing is, I thought that was a 10 volt 100 microfarad cap, but apparently, from what people in the comments are telling me, it is a 100 volt 10 microfarad cap. But regardless, I can say though that the capacitor that I installed in my existing magicJack Plus has held up just fine. It hasn't bloated or popped or anything like that. Yeah, a little error there, but you can see over here is the circuitry for our Ethernet. You got these diodes here. You got your isolation module here for the Ethernet. Yeah, guys, the USB ports, I have to wonder what those were actually for. And what the heck, guys, look at this. Did they not actually solder in the... Let me get you a better view here. Yeah, guys, have a look at this. Get a close look at those traces out there for the USB ports. I mean, it looks like there's a bare minimum amount of solder there, but actually what it is it's like the traces are really tiny there for the USB ports. Bare minimum. There's the other side. Let's get you a close look there at these chips. Got your Tiger 980 right there, which is made by, I believe, Tiger Jet. Yeah, those you would see this stuff even in the original magicJack. And their A6 chip there, which I think may be the CPU of this whole operation. You got your 3 LEDs right there, it looks like. Yep. You know, your surface mount LEDs. Then look at the bottom side. Got this little slot right there. Yeah, so it's of course double-sided. You got components on both sides of the PCB. So yeah, that's inside of a 2014 magicJack Plus. Definitely a lot of stuff going on there. I swear this looks awful lot like a micro SD slot. Now if I had a micro SD card right here to try, I would try it right now, but I have to wonder. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe the 2 USB ports you could plug. You could, of course, plug a Wi-Fi adapter into one of the 2. But why 2? That's the kind of the mystery behind the 2014 magicJack Plus is the 2 USB ports, and of course this slot over here. Pretty crazy. And again, it looks like they use the bare minimum solder on that Ethernet jack there and that RJ45. And of course, you got solder under the tray. You got solder between the surface mount pads and the components, but to me, it seems like they could have used a little more solder there. I don't know. So anyways, again, that's the look inside of a 2014 magicJack Plus. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Well everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Computer Channel, and be sure to tick that bell so you'll get notified when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget I have a whole lot of other interesting videos here on the channel to check out. And also, in addition, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX, where I have all sorts of other videos not exactly related to technology. Links to the channels are available at the end of this video. Again, I thank you for your support and thanks for watching this video.